ready to go to the gym. It's pretty early. It's like 6:30 a.m. and I've been starting off a new routine to start going to the gym in the morning like I used to. Just with the mental state that I've kind of been in lately, I want to give myself like a fighting chance to have a positive start to my day. It kind of like releases like that heavy weight of stress of like all the things that I have to do that I kind of wake up with every morning that comes, you know, with anxiety. It allows me to address it right away and not allow it to stop the rest of my day. Like when people say they love going to the gym, it makes them feel better and they get like addicted to the gym, what they're talking about is the endorphins that it gives them. So I've been loving starting off an early morning workout. It has made such a difference in my days in the way that it makes me feel. I'm gonna do some cardio and a HIIT workout. Lately, it's just been my thing. I'm gonna go downstairs in my gym and just like really get it out. I'm definitely gonna do a HIIT workout on my Future app. You guys know I love Future. I love working out with my trainer. I've definitely changed up my workouts a little bit with my trainer. I've definitely had her kind of make them a lot heavier, and I've been going to the gym and I've just been loving the way that it makes me feel. So if you've never heard of Future, it's a virtual fitness app that allows you to work one-on-one with a personal trainer to help you reach your fitness goals. You sign up, you go on their website and you pick out a personal trainer that works best for you, fits your schedule, and kind of can help you with what you're looking for. I had a one-on-one meeting with mine, fell in love with her, and we've been working together ever since. You talk about your goals, they'll message you throughout the week, curate workout plans for you that fit your schedule. Like for me, I'm always traveling. My trainer is able to make a workout for me whether I'm in a hotel or I have a gym or I have no equipment or I have lots of equipment. They also lend you a free Apple Watch when you sign up, and that's how they track your progress, right? Through all your metrics that is reported from your Apple Watch to the app, and they can just kind of see how it's working for you, what really got your heart rate going and what didn't, just to make sure that it's actually effective, which I love. So they're also keeping track of your workouts, making adjustments as you need. They work with celebrities, people that are like have really busy lifestyles, parents, you name it. Like they have worked with it and can figure out a schedule that works with you. I always recommend Future to people who are just scared of the gym and if not comfortable in the gym and just not knowing what to do in the gym, and they're kind of just starting off this journey and they need an extra boost. I always recommend them Future just because it's nice to have. Definitely want to check out Future, highly recommend. I have a link down below that you can click and sign up with, but you can get your first month for just $19 at tryfuture.co/Alexis. So jump on it, such a good deal. I'll have all the information linked down below. So thank you so much Future for sponsoring this portion of the video, but I am gonna go do my Future workout. Good morning, good morning. Yes, I just got back from the gym, took a shower, and got right back in my pajamas. I was gonna really try to film like a really elaborate video for you guys today on this topic, but I don't know why I keep doing this with myself and fighting myself, but I just can't do it. So I'm just gonna sit here and talk to you guys about it anyway. I got really good feedback from my last sit down video where we just sit and talk. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna try to overdo something or overproduce something because this is all I can mentally do. Just continue on this trend. But after that, this will be my last video for a couple weeks. But something that's been on my mind a lot throughout this process the last couple days is self-worth. How to navigate your self-worth when you're feeling a little bit off and you're feeling a little bit lost and you're feeling like you need that reset and you don't have motivation to really do anything. A lot of that can be heavy on your self-worth and make you feel like you're worthless or you're not as worthy because you're feeling the way that you do, or you're not measuring up to what society says you should be measuring up to, or just you're not measuring up to the way you view yourself and the way you think you should be and what you should be doing, and these pressures that we put on ourselves to succeed. And I just want to normalize that we all feel that way. We all have gone through that process where we just don't feel as worthy as we have in the past, or we just haven't felt worthy at all. We have really low self-esteem, which is something I've struggled with for years, and being at the age that I am and barely accepting who I am and understanding who I am and being okay with who I am and realizing it's actually a beautiful thing and it's making my life so much easier than trying to always try to change myself and just have these kind of self-deprecating thoughts about myself that I hold on to. And anytime something doesn't work out, I bring up those thoughts and like, see, that's why. See, I knew I was right about myself. I'm incapable of this, or I'm incapable of that. And always just gotta be down on myself. This last year in 2022, I've become so aware of my self-worth, and it has started to naturally become something that I am fixing as I show myself love and as I go through my own healing journey. And as I go through my own healing journey, I'm just naturally seeing how I evolved when it comes to my self-worth. And now that I'm on this side of things where I do view myself as worthy, I do view myself as beautiful, I do view myself as deserving, I do view myself in a way that I don't have to get other people to like me, or feel the need to have other people like me, or feel the need to chase love the way that I used to chase love, because I find the worth in myself. And it took years. I'm telling you, this is probably the first year where I realized my true self-worth and felt comfortable. And I truly believe that came from the self-love I poured into myself. Like, I am it. In my world, I am. Like, why treat myself any different or allow anybody else to treat me any different, or chase love and validation that does not serve me, that I do not deserve, and I deserve so much better. In those times, I can be in my own company if that's what it takes, rather than settling for things that don't serve me. But I definitely want to talk about a few pointers that have really helped me over the last year to really get to this position. The one thing you will always have is yourself. The one thing you can always rely on is yourself. So being able to have a healthy relationship with yourself will only make your life a lot easier, healthier, and just feel a lot better. First step for me when it came to really realizing my self-worth and understanding what my self-worth was and what it looked like for me, I had to go through a journey of self-acceptance and the past that came with me as well. Things that have happened to you, things that you wish you did, you didn't do, all the shame, the guilt you once had, and it just accepting things as they have happened and stop trying to run away from them or change them. Accepting it as part of my story, as who I am, and instead of being sad and upset about it or trying to run away from it, and that brewing into more self-hatred, which then made my self-esteem even lower, my confidence even lower. One day I was getting so tired of it, I just decided to accept it. When I started to, heal myself and work on myself and accept things, I was able to gain sympathy for myself and realize a lot of the things that have happened is just a part of life, for one, but also not my fault, right? Like, I can't fault myself for being born into a situation that, I wish I wasn't, and instead accepting it as it is, trying to find the positive in it and use it to drive me in life in a positive direction, and instead of weighing me down and just kind of reversing the meaning that it has in my mind. Just be at peace and make decisions from a peaceful place, from a place of self-love instead of a place of self-loathing. When you can't accept you, it also reflects on the outside, right? Then other people feel that energy and also don't accept you, right? So then your brain picks up like, see, it's proving me right. This person doesn't like me, or this is going on in my life because of this. Really what it is the energy that's being put out and just being reciprocated back to you. That's why self-acceptance is so important. Really all it is just having your own back, like just being there for you and believing in who you are, no matter what anything or anyone tries to come into your life and tells you, or a negative thought that tries to take over and consistently be in your mind all the time. You're able to stop it all in its tracks and be like, no, I know who I am. I know my self-worth. I have no shame of what has happened to me, that things that I have done, or any type of shame about who I am as a person. And when you do that, you can literally become the most unaffected person. And I'm telling you, once that changed and I was able to move past that, accept myself, self-worth just came pouring in. And it's so dangerous when you don't know your own worth. Anything can come and tell you what you're worth. Okay, how many times have I allowed that to happen in my life? How many times did I let a situation or a thing or a person come in and tell me my worth because I didn't believe in my own worth? I didn't have my own back. I didn't know, and I didn't like myself, so who cares if the other person treated me any different than the way I treat myself? And I didn't realize any of that until I accepted myself and was willing to have my own back and fight for myself. And that goes into the next topic that I want to talk about, which is actually crazy when I think about it. I feel like a lot of people walk around in life not willing to have their own back or believe in themselves, and they allow those self-deprecating thoughts to just take over every area of our life. If you think about it, we're the only ones that know the way we think. And we don't have to say every single thought out loud. If you're constantly thinking negative thoughts throughout the day and all the time, and all your decisions get filtered through those negative thoughts, can you look at your life and see how those negative self-deprecating thoughts of not being able to back yourself or have your back or believe in yourself has affected your life? Like, can you look around right now and say, wow, okay, the negative thought that I'm always telling myself, I can see how my decisions are filtered through that. And now I understand why some of the things that are happening in my life currently are happening. And it's so natural to the point where you don't even realize you're doing it. That's where it gets a little scary, but you can always change that just by simply having your own back, being there for you, truly believing in yourself, no matter what. Sometimes we hold on to these negative self-deprecating thoughts because it's actually our comfort zone. We've lived in it for so long. We've told ourselves it for so long. To try to believe anything else would feel odd, would feel scary, would feel not right. The crazy thing about life and the beauty about life is you can change those belief systems, those thoughts you have about yourself, the way you feel about yourself at any moment. It's just up to you, right? Now, it could take time because you're gonna have to rewire those thoughts to thoughts about believing in who you are, what you're capable of, what you deserve, standing up for yourself when you need to, letting go of thoughts that no longer serve you in today's time. Figuring out where those thoughts came from, pull them out at the root, and be okay with letting them go. Really start letting love in. You know, self-worth, it all stems from the way you feel about yourself inside. The next thing that I want to talk about is when you feel unworthy next to someone you idolize or think is better than you, what society makes people portray that who they are online or in their job. Even if like you're a doctor, like, you know, I won't take offense to this. Doctors go to school for years and I have respect for that. But at the end of the day, even a doctor is a human being and can make a mistake. To get to the level of expertise, they spent years to go to school to learn that. They didn't start off an amazing surgeon, right? An amazing doctor that saves lives. They had to learn and become an expert in that field. Now, if you took a doctor and you made them work for NASA, they're gonna look like an amateur. They're gonna look like a person that doesn't know what they're talking about. They're gonna look super uncomfortable. They're not gonna know what to say or what to do. They're gonna be asking questions and feel uncomfortable in that room. Therefore, there's no one more worthy than anybody else. There's just experts in certain fields. That's it. And I feel like we emphasize so much on what people have and what people do as their worth. These people have worked hard for years and they started off as amateurs. They started off not being this person you're seeing in front of you today. You just didn't see their path and the mistakes they've made. They're never gonna tell you. So they look like this noble person that just is so much better than you. But if you took them out of their comfort zone, the one skill that they've worked on their whole life, and put them somewhere else, they're gonna look as much as an amateur as you would doing the same thing. Everyone has to start somewhere. But also on top of that, everyone is human. If you think you are the only person who is not confident, who has these thoughts about yourself, who feels this way about yourself, who had to go through things to get where they are, and everyone else's life is perfect, that is a lie you are telling yourself. I don't view anyone as better than me anymore. I used to, but I don't. I don't care if you're the president of the United States. I don't view you as better than I am. So now when I approach a person that I would used to be like, oh, I need this person to like me, they're so much better than me, look what they have, look what they're doing, oh my gosh, I'm so inspired by them. Don't get me wrong, you can still be inspired by people and learn from people. It's so beautiful. I know this might sound like a little cocky, but it's just the way you gotta shift your brain. You know, you always wanna still come from love, and it's not to be cocky or, you know, think you're better than other people. No, what I'm saying is everyone is at an equal level playing field. Because at the end of the day, they are a human being. The difference between you and this person is that they picked a field, they studied for years, became an expert in it, got successful in it, and now they have a life experience to share about it with you. And that is what you're seeing. At the end of the day, they're still the same type of human being that you are. And you are capable of accomplishing that same exact thing that they have done if you wanted to. It doesn't make them more worthy than you just because you haven't done it yet. For me, when I walk into a room or when I approach people that would normally have that effect on me. I naturally will never think anyone is worth more than me, is better than me. I honestly, I don't care where they come from or who they are. I've grown that muscle so much that I am not intimidated by anyone. Everyone is just a human being trying to make it through life. And now that I view people like that, it allowed me to kind of remove the facade that everyone was putting on for themselves, right? You got to think about it. The reality of the annoying stuff in your life that goes on, it is also happening for other people. I don't care what they tell you, they are a human being, and life happens to us as human beings, and there's nothing we can do about it. It's the beauty of life. And that will make it so much easier to realize there's nothing wrong with you. There's absolutely nothing wrong. They are just as human as you are. No one in this world can make you feel unworthy because they have probably gone through the same scenario. You just don't know about it. We base so much of our self-worth and what is happening in society and the way other people view us and what is going on in somebody else's life that's not going in our life, without really logically thinking about how that person is just as human as I am, and they're living their life experience. No one is more worthy than you. No one is more deserving of you. There's no one in a position of life that deserves more than you just because of where they're at in their life and who they are. That actually doesn't make any logical sense. So the next time you have these thoughts, tell yourself that. Humanize people. Like, normalize humanizing people and stop idolizing people. Because if you want it to be just as noble, you can start tomorrow. Not all of it, but a lot of the pain we feel is self-inflicting. And it can be a pattern for us, especially if you grew up in trauma or you grew up in an environment where traumatic things were always happening. We can start to create that environment for ourselves because we don't know any better or we don't know anything else. And we're used to things always happening to be hostile or dramatic, when no, we can live a happy, simple life. It's just a shift in mindset. It's just a shift in perspective. And life can be loving and beautiful even in the hard times. And that is what's carrying me through this. Like, you guys, that is what's carrying me through this. My body's going through its normal pattern of like, oh, we had a high, we must have a low. And I realized that about myself. I'm like, oh, okay, we need to work on this. And this is something that I've been working on the past week that has just made me feel so much better. Like, you know what? I know who I am. I love myself and I know my worth. I'm worth it all. I'm worth anything. I deserve it all, you know, and it just gives you this sense of peace when you have your own back and you know you're there for yourself and you know you can trust yourself, and you can switch that around by a simple decision. If you're feeling down and you're feeling down on yourself and you know it may be coming from inside, try to look at where you are in your journey when it comes to self-worth, because a lot of these outward problems that we're having always start from within, whether that be from a decision we made, something we allowed to happen in our surrounding areas, something we knew we should have changed but have not made the change yet or started the process to change it, right? Because we're holding ourselves back, or we are in an environment where people that are hurting us are no longer serving us and we need to figure out a way to get out of it. Even if it's someone you love or it's family, it's okay to leave, right? And we have to get to that spot where we believe it's okay to leave. We believe in ourselves enough to put ourselves in a safer environment, even if we don't have the help, and it's gonna be hard, but it's never impossible. Who you are is so special, so beautiful, worth it all. You deserve everything. Like, this is your one chance at life. Like, this is your life. What are you gonna do with it? Don't allow your past to hold you hostage anymore. Let it go. Allow yourself to be free. I know it's so scary, but allow yourself to be free. Allow yourself to love yourself. You know, a healing journey isn't an end all be all. It's forever. And you will always have to be there for yourself, and you will always have to show up for yourself, but you should want to. It should be a thing that you should want to do. And if you don't want to, start from there. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you don't feel like you want to start doing this stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. You could just not be there yet, ready to make that change. But start working on it slowly. And if receiving this type of knowledge is opening your brain up to start making those changes, even if you don't feel it yet. So I love you guys so much. We are in it together. And I will see you guys in the next video.